Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Yende. Let me start with a provocative question. What if the person you're attracted to isn't entirely your choice? What if attraction is shaped, at least in part, by biological signals working below conscious awareness? And what if a medication used by millions of women around the world quietly changes those signals? Could hormonal birth control influence who we find attractive? Could it affect partner selection? Could it even play a role in long-term relationship compatibility? Today, we're exploring one of the most controversial and fascinating topics in modern neuroscience, evolutionary biology, endocrinology, and relationship science: the hidden connection between hormonal contraception and attraction. Because beneath every love story is a deeper biological story, a story shaped by hormones, genes, pheromone-like signals, the immune system, the brain, and ancient evolutionary forces that shaped human relationships long before dating apps ever existed. Attraction is not as random as it seems. Most people think attraction is purely psychological: shared values, personality, humor, physical appearance, chemistry. And yes, all of those matter, but neuroscience suggests there's another layer. The unconscious brain is constantly evaluating biological signals, signals that affect whom we trust, whom we feel comfortable with, whom we desire, and sometimes whom we choose as long-term partners. These decisions often happen before conscious thought even kicks in. The brain is always gathering information. Most of it happens silently, without us noticing. The immune system and attraction. Now here's where things get especially interesting. Deep in your DNA are genes called the Major Histocompatibility Complex, or MHC for short. These genes help regulate immune function. They help the body recognize infections and foreign invaders. But researchers discovered something surprising. MHC genes may also influence attraction. Why? Because from an evolutionary point of view, offspring with more diverse immune system genes may have a better chance of resisting disease. In simple terms, nature may subtly push us toward partners with different immune profiles. The greater the diversity, the stronger the potential immune advantage for future children. The famous t-shirt studies. One of the most talked about studies in evolutionary psychology involved something surprisingly simple: sweaty t-shirts. Researchers had men wear t-shirts for several days, then women were asked to smell the shirts and rate them. The results caused a lot of excitement. Women often preferred the scent of men whose immune system genes differed from their own. The idea was straightforward: the brain may be picking up subtle biological cues linked to genetic compatibility. Not consciously, but biologically. Of course, human attraction is far more complex than smell alone. Still, these studies open the door to a fascinating possibility that the unconscious brain may be processing genetic information without us realizing it. Enter hormonal contraception. Now we get to one of the most debated questions in relationship science. What happens when hormonal birth control changes the body's hormonal environment? Hormonal contraceptives alter reproductive hormones. Their main job is to prevent ovulation, but they also affect estrogen and progesterone signaling. And when hormones change, the brain changes too. Because hormones aren't just reproductive chemicals, they're neuroactive molecules. They influence mood, motivation, risk perception, sexual desire, social behavior, and possibly attraction. The pregnancy analogy. Some researchers have put forward an intriguing idea. Hormonal contraceptives may create a hormonal environment that resembles pregnancy in certain ways. Not exactly. But biologically, there may be some overlap. During pregnancy, evolutionary priorities can shift. Instead of seeking genetic diversity, the brain may focus more on stability, safety, social support, protection. If hormonal contraception partially mimics aspects of that state, it could theoretically influence attraction patterns. Some studies have suggested that women using hormonal contraception may show different preferences than naturally cycling women. But the evidence is mixed and the issue is still being debated. Still, it remains a scientifically interesting question. Does the pill change who you choose? This is where popular discussions often go too far. You'll sometimes see headlines claiming the pill makes women choose the wrong partner. But the science does not support such a simplistic conclusion. Human relationships are incredibly complex. Attraction is shaped by personality, values, life experience, culture, family background, physical attraction, communication, shared goals, and biology. Hormones are only one piece of the puzzle. That said, there is evidence that hormonal state may influence certain aspects of attraction and preference. The size of that effect is still unclear, and it likely varies a lot from person to person. The brain of love. Let's shift to neuroscience. Romantic attraction activates several brain systems: dopamine pathways, reward circuits, attachment networks, oxytocin signaling, vasopressin systems, stress regulation pathways. Love is not one single thing, it's a biological orchestra, and hormones influence many of those systems. When reproductive hormones shift, the effects may ripple through the nervous system. That doesn't mean attraction becomes fake, it means attraction is still biological, as it has always been. Oxytocin, attachment, and pair bonding. Long-term relationships are built on more than initial attraction. Attachment becomes essential. Oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, helps strengthen trust and emotional connection. Over time, successful relationships depend less on instant chemistry and more on emotional safety, communication, shared experiences, reliability, and mutual growth. The strongest marriages often last not because of pheromones but because of attachment. That's an important distinction. Initial attraction may begin a relationship. Attachment helps sustain it. The modern dating experiment. For most of human history, mate selection happened under relatively stable biological conditions. Today, we live in a completely different world. Hormonal contraception, dating apps, social media, artificial intelligence, global connectivity. Modern humans are taking part in the largest relationship experiment in history. Our biology is ancient, but our environment has changed dramatically, and science is still working to understand the consequences. What the evidence actually says. When we talk about this topic, we need to be scientifically honest. Some studies suggest hormonal contraception influences partner preference. Others find only small effects. Some find no meaningful effect at all. This field is complicated. Human attraction is hard to measure. Relationships unfold over years, not in lab sessions. So the most accurate conclusion today is this. Hormonal state may influence certain aspects of attraction, but it's only one factor among many. Anyone claiming certainty is oversimplifying the science. The future of personalized relationship science. Imagine where this could go in the future. Wearable technology, hormone tracking, genetic analysis, artificial intelligence, digital twins. Researchers may one day understand attraction on a much deeper biological level, not to replace romance, but to better understand it. Future relationship science may combine hormonal data, stress profiles, sleep patterns, genetic information, nervous system resilience, and emotional compatibility. The goal wouldn't be to turn love into math, it would be to understand human biology more clearly. The OXYZEN perspective. At OXYZEN, we believe health intelligence includes understanding how biology shapes behavior. Hormones affect far more than fertility. They influence mood, decision-making, motivation, sleep, stress, recovery, and relationships. The more we understand these systems, the better our decisions become, not controlled by biology, but informed by it. Final thought, maybe the most important takeaway is this: attraction is neither purely biological nor purely psychological. It's both. Your genes matter, your hormones matter, your experiences matter, your values matter, your choices matter. Love emerges from the interaction of all of them. The science of attraction is becoming more and more sophisticated, but no scan, no hormone test, no wearable, and no algorithm can fully explain why one human being chooses another. And maybe that's exactly what makes love so fascinating. I'm Dr. Yende, and this is OXYZEN Health Intelligence. Before I go, I'll leave you with one question. Do you think attraction is mostly biology, mostly psychology, or a combination of both? Let us know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next episode.